I went and got my digits up. Your favorite, bruh. You don't want no trouble, cuz. The 25th, I got a meeting with the governor. That's real rap a lot, no cap a lot. I used to from Farron down to Camelot. I used to whip up in my granny's pot. She asked my friends, was I? They said, nope, he not. The line to a praying woman. The truth's a heavy burden and it's weighing on me. Red doggies caught me slipping with the wailing on me. I went to calling out for Jesus.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Seahawks and the Chargers, next on Madden NFL 22.
Southern California has a new modern home for NFL football, and it is this place, wondrous SoFi Stadium here in Inglewood. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Chargers. Alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. It's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Russell Wilson leads out the Seattle Seahawks offense. The veteran Wilson, a third-round pick back in 2012.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
Now a good running play here to start the drive. That'll net them 14 yards as they pick up the first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
The start less than ideal as they already face a 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he brings this one back. It's a big 6 and a Charger TD.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Now the extra point. And the Chargers grab the 7-0 lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded just outside the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson in the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick six for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick six, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That completes it again to Metcalf. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 4 catches, 71 yards.
And you can tell early, they're going to look his way quite a bit. And he made himself available on that one.
On second down, here's Barkley. Shifts by him. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. A handoff to Barkley. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They go play action with Wilson. He's going to look deep down the field. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in their early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Jalen Waddle, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Such an art to dot the I, just get the feet in right there against the line before going out of bounds.
Such an incredibly graceful, athletic play, but also a lot of practice goes into it. They work on that to make sure that they learn how to train their feet to get down in bounds.
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. And I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally. This will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. So here come the Chargers with a long field ahead of them. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And I think if you're handing out hardware through 2 weeks of the season, he might be your MVP. Already 7 touchdown passes in just 2 games. As we do know, though, in real life, they don't hand you out anything this early. A lot of games left to get through between now and the playoffs.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play. I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, L.A. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers have taken the lead.
I think the key to that play was them understanding and knowing that once the ball was out, they were still eligible to pick it up and carry it.
Yeah, there was some standing and some staring on the wrong side of the football there, wasn't there?
Yes, he has a name, he has a number, but for us, he's Johnny on the spot. And how about that rambling run all the way to the end zone with that alert play that he just made?
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and that makes the score 14-7. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's been a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And he'll get this one up to the 26. An extra quarterback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. Throwing is Wilson. Got a man. It's Waddle, complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a different story.
46 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Wilson to throw. Open net is Waddle, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So following the hold, They're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Wilson. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. So a first quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them, maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Wilson's throw is taken in by Waddle. And he lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time, they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big game that time for the Chargers.
But they didn't ease into that drive right out of the turnover. They go for the big shot downfield and hit it. A lot of teams have that opportunity, but not every coach is going to green light that type of a play call. I love their aggressiveness.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. The rushing numbers for Pollard last week. 18 carries, 62 yards.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
2nd and 9 now. They shakes him off. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. To the right side to Eric Ebron. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only give up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 56 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter. And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Now Saquon Barkley. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. 2nd and 9. Now Wilson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Oh, he tries to give it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
Well, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake. Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. After 1, 17-7 is our score. Charger football to start quarter number 2. As they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Swinging this out for Pollard. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And the Chargers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll set up a throw. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. This will cost him 11 yards there on the 2nd and goal sack.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Here's 3rd and goal now, back at the 11. Looking to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Craig. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Blankenship's kick is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Chargers defense gearing up to take the field. And a big reason they have the lead right now, as we see on the screen, their 3 turnovers.
And how about the emotion now that the defensive team is generating for the entire team? Creating the turnovers, what they call takeaways, and turning those into points for their team. That's why they have the lead, and that's got to be exciting for those guys on the defensive side of the ball.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Running again with Barkley on second down. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
The Seahawks on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is fielded at the 27. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. So here are the Chargers to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. That's second down. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he rifles one incomplete. The Chargers on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw here. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. Jalen Waddle deep to return it. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Good footwork at the 30. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Eventually, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Wilson. Can't get away, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And the Chargers coming out of the field now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 7.
He'll look to throw. He'll let this fly deep for Quinn. And incomplete on the deep ball. On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Well, the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now it's Wilson. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Flush to his right. With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 82 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both large. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. 20. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, LA. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You're talking about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Now Blankenship on for the PAT. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. The Seahawks going to take over now late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. To Barkley on the check down. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
I could see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room. Too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught 11 on the field. Those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked to the defense's advantage on that play.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, he's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Barkley. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Now the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Chargers going to take over here one more time before the half. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Back to throw. Got a man, that's Quinn. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Back to throw now on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Able to shake him off. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. The long-distance shot before break comes up empty, but now Charles flipped the script. Time for likely one more play as field position becomes an issue.
Yeah, when you talk about field position, remember, if this kick is missed, the ball comes back to where? The spot that they snapped it from. So field position becomes a factor. I think at this spot, you might also want to think about throwing the Hail Mary. You know, put the ball up in the air. Maybe you can get 6 out of it instead of 3.
Yeah, see what happens. And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll begin in the NFC South. Tampa Bay paying their yearly visit to Atlanta.
And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on to kick it away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Off the play fake, Wilson. This one goes out wide for Barkley. Gets around him, flashes another juke. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. To throw on 2nd and 10, Wilson. Incomplete. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Johnny Hecker now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
L.A. readies for its next possession. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter...
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
From the 40 now on second down. Wilson over the middle and complete to Waddle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They go play action now. Wilson. Another catch there for Waddle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. Fighting his way through contact. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Saquon Barkley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. Well, with Saquon Barkley, you often think of the elusiveness, the quickness, but he can definitely run with purpose as well, and he's able to shed a tackler there and continue on. Lambeau on for the extra point. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a Saquon Barkley touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. When you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line.
We play to win. Let's go.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Play action. It's Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A first down carry for Barkley. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll run it again with Barkley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. Dances by him. Another nice move. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 148 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And the Seahawks are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as strong running gets them to the 9-yard line. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. Oh, a good move at the 5. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's a give to Barkley. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. To throw is Wilson. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
It's been a tough go for him. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
Josh Lambo will attempt the field goal. He's a former Charger, remember, back in their San Diego days. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Lambo is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So 3 points, maybe not a grand prize at this stage, but it does get them back within 1 score.
It certainly does, because now they stay within shouting distance, so that means everyone on your sideline stays engaged in this game. They know they still have a shot.
And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. L.A. set to take over again on offense. The 3rd quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. Here's 2nd and 8. Ebron caught left side. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Short little throw to Ebron. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence
chance that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Short little throw to Ebron. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. More from L.A. in a moment. So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. On first down, Pollard. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Behind the chains, 2nd and 13. They'll drop to throw. And this is incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. That's to Waddle on the quick slant. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now Wilson. He dumps it off to Barkley. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. They go play action with Wilson. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a fourth down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 7 from the shotgun. Wilson. And that is incomplete. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And Lambeau will put this one through, and that'll get the lead down to 5. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. He'll look to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Finding some room at midfield. And gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. A quick throw out wide to Fuller. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. The Chargers on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. On is the Chargers punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
You need to get the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you're just holding a slim lead. But that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
Yeah, we will get another look at Seattle's offense. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. They begin with a run by Barkley. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Saquon Barkley, 97 yards. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, and this is one of the best runs you'll see. A lot of times on these long touchdowns, you'll say he gets into the end zone untouched, but not here. He fought his way through contact, and it barely even registered, and he just continued down the field all the way to the end zone.
And after that initial contact, and we kind of knew this, but the next-gen stats reveals that he went right on ahead and covered nearly the entire length of the football field. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Working with a 2nd and 3.
28-yard line. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd.
Going to run again here with Pollard. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. The Chargers on 3rd down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And that is incomplete.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on 3rd down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Good footwork at the 30. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They'd lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Pretty shifty footwork, but didn't buy him much. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
They'll run on 1st down. Barkley, and he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Again, it's Barkley. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. On 3rd down, Wilson. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Possession switching back now to the Chargers. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4. At the 37-yard line.
2nd and 4. Short little throw to Ebron. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18.
They'll set up to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here.
They'll drop this underneath to Pollard.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll go to Barkley again. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now Wilson. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. And they'll run for it with Barkley. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
And they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. They go down to a knee and a sigh of relief as they are into the win column for the first time this year. So the victory here for Seattle, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Seahawks, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road.